Are you offended by someone saying that their political opponent should be put in jail? Okay, well, let's...
It's not about being offended. You should never just preemptively assume your opponent should be in jail like that.
Tell you what, for what she's done, they should lock her up. She's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. Hillary Clinton has to go to jail, okay? She has to go to jail. You should lock them up. Lock up the Bidens. Lock up Hillary.
Let me ask you something. When did rolling the tape become a revolutionary act on CNN? Because that's what happened on Abby Phillip's show. Not a long monologue, not a heated argument, just let's roll the tape. And in the time it took to play one clip, the entire Republican argument about Gavin Newsom collapsed on itself live on air. Here's what Brianna Lyman, elections correspondent at The Federalist, wanted you to take away from that segment. Democrats are escalating. Gavin Newsom posted an AI video of Trump, Pete Hegseth, and Stephen Miller in handcuffs on December 11th. He's playing dirty. He's becoming Trump. And Republicans, the same Republicans who spent a decade chanting, "Lock her up," defending a president who reposted imagery of Joe Biden hogtied on the back of a truck, were genuinely offended. Lyman sat at the table and defended Trump, calling Tim Walz the R word by saying it's just part of the lexicon that it gets thrown around like calling someone an idiot. Abby Phillip looked at her and said, "Oh, you just defended him. Don't act like you didn't." And then she rolled the tape. I'm Andre Mitchell. This is what CNN looks like when a host actually does the job, and why that moment revealed something far bigger than Gavin Newsom's social media account. Let's get into it.
Tonight, Gavin Newsom is lamenting the remaining years of the Trump era. In an interview with the New York Times, the California governor got emotional about Donald Trump's rhetoric.
I can't even conceive of 3 more years of this. It really is. I mean, what's happening to our kids? Their brains are already being scrambled by social media and everything else we didn't even talk about. But this is their role model? A guy who calls someone a retard? A guy who calls someone a piggy? This is our role model, the President of the United States?
Over the last 6 months, Newsom has been emulating Trump's brash, all-caps-laden, and often AI-generated social media persona. And it's not just Democrats. Listen to these Republicans who rejected the president's demand for a new map in Indiana.
So, I think they get what they get. I wish that President Trump would change his tone.
I had released a post about my displeasure over some the slur that the president used. Words have consequences, and for me, it was just added to a litany of reasons of why this was just bad policy and not good timing, and wasn't deserving of my support.
That last Indiana lawmaker that you just heard, one of the reasons that he said that he rejected this map was when he heard Trump use the R-word slur. He has a child with a disability. And I wonder if Gavin Newsom, you think, Brianna, is hitting on something that is bubbling up here. When you have Republicans saying Trump is going too far, is that a sentiment that could hurt Trump and Republicans going forward? I
think to the state senator, Bo Boachek, who just spoke, I can understand why a parent with a child with Down syndrome would be sensitive to the use of the R word, and I completely agree. But I do think to his point about words mattering, words matter, but policies matter more.
I want you to hold what you just heard for a second. Brianna Lyman just told you that if you care about the dignity of children with Down syndrome, you should support Republican redistricting in Indiana. That's not a paraphrase. That is what she said. She took a Republican senator's pain, a father who rejected Trump's map because the president used a slur about his child, and turned it into an argument for partisan gerrymandering. In the same breath, she used to explain away the slur. That is not a defense. That is a deflection so aggressive it accidentally becomes a confession, because here's what she could not bring herself to say, that the President of the United States called someone the R word and it was simply wrong. Full stop. No policy pivot required, no redistricting map attached. She couldn't say it, and Abby Phillip is about to show you exactly why that matters.
And if he cares about the dignity of people and children with Down syndrome, that he should want to make sure Republicans have a good, fair fighting chance in Congress, because it's parties like Congressman Moskowitz's party, who votes against legislation that would ban abortion solely on the basis of Down syndrome. And so if you want to focus on the dignity of those with Down syndrome, words may hurt, but policies will hurt more. So I think he should have voted with the Republicans to redistrict.
Not having insurance is also going to hurt.
So you're
Well, your party
fine.
should
You're
figure that
fine.
out.
Yeah,
You think it's important
voted it down.
for, you know, on the abortion piece for children with Down syndrome to have a chance of life. But when they are here, you're fine with the president denigrating them with a slur?
Abby, I think everybody at this table, at least for my generation, the lexicon, unfortunately, uses the R word not to smear or malign
on a
anybody.
playground in fifth grade,
No,
not
Abby,
the
I'm
president
telling
of the
you
United
right now,
States.
that is a word that unfortunately is just thrown around as if you're calling someone an idiot or a moron. I'm not defending it, but I'm saying that President Trump certainly was not using it to attack someone who has a legitimate disability. I think we all know that too. Calling Tim Walz the R word is not trying to say Tim Walz has Down syndrome.
Well, look, Tim Walz also has a child with disabilities, so there's that too. But Charles, you were saying.
I mean, I think, you know, we're in the wicked season, and we got used to Trump defying gravity. And we thought, you know, a lot of people thought that was going to happen forever. I think that gravity is now taking hold. I believe that there's a political gravity that's happening with Donald Trump because people are getting exhausted by it. I think this is what was happening at the end of the first term. And I think this is where Newsom has to tread a little bit more lightly here, because emulating Donald Trump, by the end of his presidency, people were exhausted by Donald Trump. They did not want exact replica of Donald Trump. They wanted something completely different from that. And I think that, you know, Gavin Newsom has to figure out if he wants to continue the next 3 years as being the anti-Trump by being kind of a mirror image of him.
Ezra Klein has an interview with him basically saying he is the front runner for the Democratic Party. Yet what did he put out? An AI-generated photo of the President of the United States in handcuffs this week. He told the Indiana governor, get down on your knees today in a post on X. So, I don't know. On one hand, the president can't do it, but yet Gavin Newsom is now the front runner.
Wait, I don't know. This is sort of a chicken and egg kind of situation.
What are you talking about? No, we're talking about verbiage. We're talking about verbiage.
I'm saying what's chicken and egg is that you're sort of implying that Gavin Newsom started it and that it's fair then for
I didn't
Trump
say Gavin Newsom started
Republicans to continue it when
we all
in
know
fact,
how the president speaks.
Yeah, exactly.
We all know how the president speaks.
Do you remember this? This is a Trump post from 2024 where he reposts a truck with Joe Biden hogtied on the streets and Trump flags flying. Was it violence when Trump did it? And why are Republicans suddenly so offended?
Look, I can't speak to those Republicans, and I'm not arguing with you. We know how Donald Trump speaks, and he's very blunt. That's one of the things that people of America like about him. And sometimes he uses words I don't always agree with. But I'm just saying, for the media and others to now prop up Gavin Newsom and say he's great when he's putting out AI-generated photos of our president in handcuffs on a sidewalk, well, then what's the difference?
Offended by it.
I'm saying, what's the difference? I'm saying, what's the difference? You guys want to slam the president constantly.
Are you offended by someone saying that their political opponent should be put in jail? Okay, well,
it's not about being offended. You should never just preemptively assume your opponent should be in jail like that.
He has done his entire political career.
Tell you what, for what she's done, they should lock her up. She's disgraceful. Hillary Clinton has to go to jail, okay? She has to go to jail. You should lock them up. Lock up the Bidens. Lock up Hillary.
All right, so tale as old as time. Lock her up. This was 2016. This was 4 years before Joe Biden. This was 4 years before the alleged lawfare. Lock her up. What are we talking about here?
First of all, he said should. Did Donald Trump weaponize his Department of Justice to lock Hillary Clinton up? No, he didn't. But did Joe Biden's lock up Peter Navarro, Steve Bannon try Donald Trump?
The reporting is, in his first term, he certainly tried. And he had a different government at the time, a different cabinet at the time, and it didn't work. But listen, I'm not defending any of this, but I just think it is so interesting that memes and that threats of, or not even threats, just memes about locking up your political opponent are suddenly so offensive
it's not about being
to
really
the other side of the aisle when it was fine when Trump did it for the last 8 years.
I mean, listen, A for effort on that lock her up thing. Okay, but here's what I would say, right? At the end of the day, the game has changed. And what Democrats have decided is we may not like the game. We may find it morally reprehensible. But what Gavin has decided is he's going to play the game, because if you don't play, you automatically lose.
Let's be clear about what we just watched. because it wasn't a debate about Gavin Newsom. It wasn't even a debate about rhetoric. What we just watched was a Republican operative sit on a CNN panel and attempt in real time to use a father's pain about his disabled child as a shield for a president who caused that pain in the first place. Think about that. A state senator in Indiana rejected Trump's redistricting map partially because the president of the United States called someone the R word. That senator has a child with a disability. He said words have consequences, and Brianna Lyman's response, her actual on-camera, on-the-record response was, yes, but have you considered voting Republican on gerrymandering? That's not a defense, that's not even a deflection, and that is the tell. That is the moment a professional spin artist runs out of spin, and you see exactly what's underneath. Because if you cannot say without conditions, without policy attachments, without a redistricting map stapled to the back, that the President of the United States should not use slurs about disabled people, then you are not defending a principle, you are defending a person, and that person has been telling you exactly who he is for 10 years. Which brings me to the tape. I've watched a lot of CNN panels. A lot of hosts let moments slide because the momentum of the conversation is moving and stopping. It feels awkward. Abby Phillip stopped it, rolled the tape, let the crowd at a Trump rally do the talking, lock her up, lock up the Bidens, lock up Hillary, not once, not twice, years, arenas full of people chanting it, merchandise, a sitting president leading it like a conductor, and every Republican who clutched their pearls this week over Gavin Newsom, posting an AI video, every single one of them, either cheered that, excused it, or decided their career was worth more than their conscience. Now Newsom posts a video, and suddenly the Republic is in danger. Here's what nobody said out loud in that segment, but everybody felt. The Republican outrage over Gavin Newsom is not about civility. It was never about civility. It's about monopoly. For 10 years, Republicans held the exclusive patent on political aggression, the insults, the threats, the humiliation, the locker-up energy, and it worked. It worked because Democrats kept trying to win a knife fight with a strongly worded press release. And now a Democrat has picked up the knife, and Republicans are calling the police. And that's the segment. That's the whole segment. And Abby Phillip, calmly, methodically, without raising her voice once, made sure you saw it. That's what this channel is for. The moment CNN actually does the job, and the receipt that proves why it matters. I'm Andre Mitchell. If this landed differently than anything else you watched today, you already know where the subscribe button is. See you at the next one.